I wasn't going for applause, but that's great. I just was hoping all the notes would come out. Last week we started a new song, Rejuvenate. And you might remember that your part was rejuvenate, whoa, 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 rejuvenate, whoa, whoa, and some hand clapping. And all the rest of the words are up there, so you can join in at any time and just have a lot of fun. That's the only rule, just have some fun, some joy, let's call it joy. Some Easter joy. I invite you to rise in a joyful way. For some of you, that'll be sitting, and that's great too. Here we go. Two, three.
I've been through everything and come out smiling, 'cause now my test is through, my rest is due, and know how I need rejuvenation.
What is it?
Rejuvenation.
All right, here we go. One, two, three.
No more cares, no more fears, no more worries, no more tears, no more hurt, no more doubt, no more aching, complication.
Just rejuvenation, rejuvenation. No more cares,
No more fears, no more worries, no more tears, no more hurt, no more doubt, no more aching, complication.
just rejuvenation, rejuvenation. Big finish. One, two, three, rejuvenate.
Rejuvenate,
Here we go, rejuvenate.
rejuvenate, rejuvenate.
Whoa, 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 rejuvenate. Whoa, 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 rejuvenate. Whoa, 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 rejuvenate. Whoa, 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 rejuvenate. Whoa, 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 rejuvenate. Whoa, 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 rejuvenate. One, two, three, rejuvenate. Whoa, 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 rejuvenate. Thank you.
Well, I bet you're all rejuvenated. Good morning and happy Easter. Welcome to the Olympia Unitarian Congregation. Our community envisions an interconnected world that is loving, just, and healthy, We commit to live our mission to welcome and wonder, embrace and empower, bridge and become. Thank you for joining us today. We're so glad you're here. My name is Ann Radford. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a member of the worship arts team. Leading worship with me today is our minister, Reverend Mary Gear, Sara Lewis, our Director of Community and Faith Development, and Troy Fisher, our Music Director. You are welcome here just as you are. Whatever beliefs sustain you, whomever you love, however you understand and express your identity, and in all the ways you are still becoming the person you will be. Here are a few things that you should know about our service this morning. We are streaming live on Zoom and YouTube, and the service is being recorded. For those here in the sanctuary, as you see, we have subtitles on the screen in front and on Zoom for those online. And over here, we have soft chairs and activities for a busy hand so everyone can be comfortable. We are a multi-generational congregation, and we welcome people of all ages in the sanctuary. There's also nursery care and story time for children down in the classroom wing. So be where you are most comfortable. We are grateful for the many hands that have helped make worship happen this morning. Thank you to all who contribute in so many ways. After the service, everyone will have a chance to discuss reflection questions offered by Reverend Mary. For those online, we invite you to go in a breakout room for a virtual coffee chat. For those in person, we invite you to stay for coffee and conversation out in the commons. And at noon today, we will host a children's Easter egg hunt at Bury Park, just down East End Street. Come to the park to hunt for eggs and return to OUUC to trade the eggs for treats and prizes. And if we will still hold the Easter egg hunt at noon. So if this service isn't finished by noon, you can scoot out if you need to go down there and get your Easter eggs. Also today at 12:15, the Generation XYZ lunch will be hosted in Classroom 3. All who are 18 to 50-ish are invited to lunch. See Keto Bay with any questions. At OUUC, we are free to believe in what speaks to our hearts. So today, Easter Sunday, yes, in addition to the Easter Bunny, we believe in you, our congregation. This is because your generosity has resulted in the most successful stewardship campaign in our history. So we are now only $30,000 away from our ambitious goal to fully fund the vision we share for the coming year. If you haven't pledged yet, or you're able to increase your pledge, now is the time. Every pledge counts. To learn more about this, talk to a member of the stewardship team in the comments after this service, contact Rosie in the office, or go to ouuc.org. Thank you so much for your generosity. Our annual auction is Saturday, May 3rd at Osho Cultural Community Center. And if you're planning to go, please buy your ticket by next Saturday, April 26th, or it'll be too late. That's both the date the online auction opens and the deadline for ticket sales. Next Saturday, the 26th. As you've heard, there are many, many things going on at OUUC. Check out the Tuesday electronic update or the website for the most up-to-date information. Now, let us open our hearts and minds as we prepare for worship. It is good to be together. This morning, we join Unitarian Universalist congregations around the world in lighting a chalice, the symbol of our faith tradition, with the words of Elena Westbrook titled, "Hope is Risen." As the spring sun coaxes lilies and bluebonnets from the soil, let us celebrate that even after murderous betrayal, when all the world has gone dark and we cried out, "Why have you forsaken me?" Even then, there is a sunrise. Even then, there is a resurrection, if we will climb the hill to look for it. If we roll away the stone and recognize the different shapes that hope can take to walk among us in the returning light.
Good morning. Our opening words are by the Reverend Gretchen Haley. Because the tides are rising.
So must we.
Rise.
To this moment.
Rise.
To this day,
Rise.
To this life.
this place in the web,
That is yours and ours.
Rise.
because the earth remains.
Our only home.
And we,
Fellow travelers,
Its only hope.
for healing,
wholeness,
Salvation.
rise.
before the mystery,
Before the Big Bang.
That started it all.
that this infinite universe
Still takes notice of us.
Still feels the in and out of our breath.
still holds us,
Connects us.
Rise.
or surrender.
With gratitude.
For this beauty,
This chance
To be part of it all.
to give back,
to weave,
Life.
past,
present,
Future.
everywhere, always.
as one.
Come, let us worship together.
And let's sing together from the Gray Hymn Book, hymn number 38, Morning Has Broken. I invite you to rise in body and our spirit. If you're joining us online, you can find the lyrics posted in the chat.
According to some traditions and the stories of the ancient Greeks, in the beginning, there was chaos. There was nothing and no order, just one great swirling chaos. Then chaos began to recede like the waters rolling back. And the first something to emerge from the chaos was Gaia. Gaia, the earth. Gaia existed alone for who knows how long. But then came Tartarus, the underworld, and Eros, love. And now Gaia decided to create others. The first she created was Uranus, also known as sky. Then she created Pontus, sea, and Uras, mountains. With Uranus, Gaia had many children who became the gods known as Titans. And Gaia's other children were the sea gods, the giants, and some that became known as monsters. But Uranus tried to control them and then tried to hurt her children. And so Gaia sided with her children in the struggle. Later, her son Kronos also tried to harm his own children, and Gaia again sided with her children and protected the baby Zeus from his father. But when Zeus came to power, he also harmed Gaia's children, which launched her into even greater fury. Unfortunately, it has always been the fate of Gaia to love her children and to have to witness them harming each other. And yet, she keeps on giving life and love, for she is the abundant source of all life. Today, many people honor Gaia as Mother Earth, our one and only home. She is understood as the complex interdependence on this planet that both is life and makes life. She is mother and she is offspring. She is all of us. And she continues to mourn for her children and wants all to thrive in this world. Thus ends our story.
Each year on April 22nd, we celebrate Earth Day, a holiday for honoring our Mother Earth and an annual reminder of our responsibility to care for our environment. This holiday is just 8 years older than I am. It was started in 1970 as a way to push environmental care onto the national agenda. The original Earth Day was a teach-in, and the spirit of the holiday remains heavily tied to awareness raising about environmental concerns to this day. In my childhood, Earth Day was a day to maybe do some beach cleanups, encourage people to recycle more, maybe read Chief Seattle's Children of the Earth speech out loud. It was somber, earnest, a little scary, and honestly, not much fun. It wasn't until I moved to Olympia in my 20s that I encountered a joyful Earth Day with the procession of the species here. And that shifted my feelings for the holiday. Yes, there is much to fear and so much to do to protect our environment. And we humans have not done a good job at all. But there is so much to love and celebrate about this beautiful planet and the miraculous life on it. So how do we balance fear and joy? The call for greater responsibility and care, and the honoring of the deep love that we feel for nature and this planet. It can be a tricky dance, and sometimes we don't get it right. I have a very vivid memory of going to the zoo when I was a small child and seeing a display that was meant to encourage recycling of aluminum cans. There were tropical birds, real beautiful living tropical birds, and we children were all encouraged to pet and talk to them. And then we were shuffled along to a big picture of a strip mine with large painted dead birds superimposed on it. And then shuffled along to a big recycling can, which had a sign above it, which in my memory said, "Every time you don't recycle a can, it's like killing a tropical bird." I had nightmares. I was petrified that every unrecycled can that might ever pass through my hands was somehow racking up a personal tally of dead, beautiful birds, and that someday I would have to answer to them like a cloud of feathered judges waiting for me. This is a bit of an extreme example, but children learn at very young ages that there is destruction and loss to fear, and often react with strong emotions. I remember watching the documentary Dirt with my son when he was small, and afterward he cried and said that we had to dig up the pavement in front of our house and plant trees there. I explained that we couldn't, that we would get in a lot of trouble. That was the city street, and we weren't allowed to remove the pavement. But he was not to be consoled. How, when we learn of danger to our miraculous planet, how can we not do something? Author, parent, and environmental activist Richard Louv warned us a decade ago in his book, Last Child in the Woods, that our focus on the fear and danger of environmental loss and climate change, combined with the rise of technology and increasingly structured and supervised childhoods, could lead to a generation who never had a chance to love nature. He wrote, "We cannot protect something we do not love. We cannot love what we do not know. We cannot know what we do not see or hear or sense." Louv's suggestion for all who love children and love nature was to focus on getting outdoors without agendas, without lesson plans, and definitely without a focus on loss and fear. Just to be in nature, explore it, soak it in, have a chance to fall in love with it. And I think this is good advice for all of us of every age. We do need to protect and to care for Earth, and in our interdependent web of life, there is also so much to love, to marvel at, to find joyful. So on this Sunday before Earth Day, I invite you to bring to mind now a place in nature that you love, or a species that you love, or even just an individual non-human life that you love, such as a particular tree or animal. Remember the love you feel for this part of nature. And next, I challenge you to take a bit of extra time this week to notice nature around you. Notice the soil, the dirt, the bugs, or notice the birds, a plant, a flower. It doesn't have to be big or fancy, because really every little bit of all of it is part of Mother Earth. It is all connected. And with love and attention, yes, let us next move to caring and protection. There are so many Earth Day actions you can take. There is so much to protect right now. But let us start with love and attention and joy. For this is still a beautiful and miraculous planet, worthy of so much of all of these.
Each Sunday, we engage in the spiritual practices of generosity and gratitude by joining together in service to our community and to something greater than ourselves. We each have the power to share, and when we combine our gifts to create an offering together, we are able to do more than any of us can do alone. We also express our gratitude for the gifts that life has given us, for the network of relationships in which we live, and for the presence of this community. If you are new or visiting us for the first or second time, we do not expect you to contribute. However, if you are moved to be part of our offering, what you share will be gratefully received. The offering collected here does two things. It helps support the ongoing work of this congregation, which is also supported by your regular pledges. And this offering supports an organization that serves our community in harmony with our Unitarian Universalist values. Our Share the Plate organization for March and April is Wild Grief. Wild Grief facilitates peer groups for children and adults who are grieving a death by creating the space for sharing, connection, and healing in nature. All programs are free, including all outdoor gear and food. Wild Grief models how it's important to acknowledge death and engage with loss. Grief support should be available to everyone. Healing is possible. May the offering now be generously given as it is gratefully received.
Thank you so much for your generosity in all the ways you share your many gifts. This morning, we do what humans have done for all of our existence. We gather in times of worry and anxiety, and in times of celebration and joy. We come into our community bringing all that is on our minds and in our hearts. So let's open our hearts to the complexity of life as we place stones in the water of community. You will hear a drumbeat. Allow its resonance into your body. It's the heartbeat of life, the heartbeat of our community. In this moment, I invite you to take a deep breath in and out. Feel the air as it enters and leaves your body. Feel Mother Earth solid beneath us. Feel the warmth of connection. We place a stone in the water for the many people who are impacted by the abuses of power by our government. Let us not turn away from the pain that is being done in our name. And we place a stone in the water for all who join together to demand human rights, peace, and justice. Today is Non-Binary Parents' Day, a day to recognize and honor and celebrate all identities and parenting styles. So today and all days, may we increase our understanding of diversity as we welcome and include all families in our community. And one more stone in the water for Earth Day this coming Tuesday, a day when we offer gratitude for our Mother Earth and how she sustains all life. Let's open our circle wide now. For those on Zoom, I invite you to share from your heart by entering in the chat. Those of us in the sanctuary will be able to see your sharing on the screen, and it's shared with me and the pastoral care team. For those on site today, I invite you to come forward if there's something you'd like to bring into the community. You may place a stone in the water as you hold your sharing in your heart. Let's hear the heartbeat of our community as we reach out our hearts in love and care to all who share today. We'll place a stone in the water for all that has been shared online, shared from the heart. And one more stone placed in the water for all that we hold in our hearts and that remains unspoken. May we hold together all that has been shared. May you feel yourself witnessed. May you know yourself beloved. Let's take a moment now to harmonize our bodies and our breath. Please be in whatever way is comfortable for you to hum. In a moment, I'm going to start humming, so just join me. Pick a note and hum, harmonize whatever is moving for you this morning. Just hum and enjoy the vibrations that we'll create together. And I invite you to place a hand on your heart or on your belly so that you can feel the vibrations that are created in your body. We'll hum for a bit, and when our humming comes to an end, we'll be in silence together.
Hello. I'm Mary Magdalene. You may have heard of me. There are many stories told, but today I've come to tell you a story of Jesus and Easter as I know it. Now, long ago, when I was a young woman, more than 2,000 years ago, I knew a great teacher named Yeshua. You call him Jesus. He was a great teacher who taught us how to love one another, how he fed those and ate with those that no one else would eat with. And he was a healer who healed those that no one else would heal. And us women? Well, he treated us like equals, and that just didn't happen back then. But most of all, he was a prophet, meaning a person who saw what was wrong in the world and told of another way. And the way that he told us of was the kingdom of love within us and between us. Now, in those days, the Roman Empire, controlled our lands, and they found this message of the kingdom of love within us and between us threatening. And so they did an awful thing. They killed Jesus in a way that was meant to scare us all so much that we would stop working for this kingdom of love within us and between us. Have you heard this story? It was on a Friday that they killed Jesus. And many were afraid to go there and witness it, but not us women. While we were frightened, we still went, and we witnessed. The next day was Saturday. It was the Sabbath, a day of rest. They took his body and placed it in a tomb after he died, and so it was there in the tomb for a full day and 2 nights. And it was not until Sunday morning that we could go to clean and prepare his body for burial. Back then, there were no morticians. This was not a professional job. It was something that a person's loved ones did for them after they died. The women of their family would wash the body lovingly and prepare it for burial. And so we women set out to do this for our teacher, Jesus. And as we walked to the tomb, we talked about our grief, and we talked a bit too about the heavy stone and how on earth were we going to move it, why it was far too big for any of us, and even if we worked together, it would be very, very hard. Now, the story goes that when we came to the tomb, we were surprised to see that the stone was already rolled away, and Jesus was not there. Instead, we were greeted by an angel, or some say 2, who told us that Jesus would be with us always. Now, some claim that we were too frightened to tell anyone else what happened, and we just ran away. But I ask you, if we were too frightened to tell anyone, then how would anyone know the story? Of course we told people. We went and we told the others what we had seen, and how Jesus would always be with us as we kept working for this kingdom of love within us and between us. And the story was written down so it lasted even past our lives. And to this day, anytime anyone who is inspired by the teacher Jesus to do the work of the kingdom of love, anytime anyone feeds the hungry, heals the sick, tends to the sad, the prisoner, works for justice and love. In all of these ways, Jesus lives with all of us. Thus ends our story.
In the Christian Bible, the Apostle Matthew tells a story of Jesus' death and resurrection. This ancient text describes 2 Marys walking to the tomb on a Sunday morning when they feel the earth shake as an angel descends to tell them to not be afraid, that he is not here, he has risen. And so they departed quickly from the tomb with fear and great joy and ran to bring the word. Now, there are many complexities in this Easter story. And in this text, I hear a story about the complexities of life. We experience fear and great joy at the same time. They are interwoven in our life and in our experience. When we celebrate the life of someone who has died, we feel the grief of loss, and we feel joy that they lived and were part of our life, all at the same time. Those who followed Jesus, people of all genders, had reason to be afraid. They lived in an occupied land. The Romans had invaded and ruled over the people who were indigenous to the area. Jesus preached a message of love and inclusion. He railed against the abuses of power and disregard for the dignity of his people and all people. And he was punished by those who were in power. Yet people celebrated his life and the prophetic message that he delivered. And his people still today celebrate his life and his message, this day especially. Celebrating the joy of his life and his message of love is an act of resistance against those who tried to silence him then and who twist his words and his deeds into something that is harmful now. Spring is a time of many holidays and holy days. We marked the spring equinox last month, a transition from the dark and cold of winter to the green and light of spring. The Jewish celebration of Passover began last Saturday and ends this evening, a celebration of freedom from slavery and oppression. And today is Easter, a celebration of the life of the prophet Jesus. Each of these holidays has a story of grief and loss, of joy and celebration, and of resurrection and rebirth. These are the themes of the human condition, told over and over again in story after story. And because of the timing of Easter this year, we add Earth Day to this mix of spring holidays. And Earth Day is also a story of loss and grief, of joy and celebration, and of resurrection and rebirth. Do you remember during the pandemic when human activity slowed and we experienced a rebirth of the natural world? Air pollution cleared over Beijing and London and Madrid and Las Vegas and other large cities. Animals reclaimed the areas that we humans left when we went and stayed inside. And we had a new appreciation for the outdoors because it was one of the few places that we could be together more safely. We now know that resurrection of the earth is possible. We experienced it. And that many have ignored this knowledge as a source of grief and fear. Yet Gaia continues to sustain us. Spring returns with new life. We remember and retell the stories of resurrection and renewal. We commit to notice joy amidst the destruction. We plant seeds in the compost. We fan the ashes of almost dead hope. In this perilous time, it helps me to remember that resurrection and rebirth are possible. And not only possible, but they will happen. Now more than ever, we need people to care for those who are impacted and hurting, and they show up. We need truth tellers to let us know what is happening to tell us the truth, and they do. They write and speak and sing. And we need prophets to remind us of what is possible, to proclaim a vision of interdependence and justice. And there are new prophetic voices and reclaiming old prophetic voices now. We must remember that from the dirt of human experience, new life is possible. In a moment, we'll engage in the ritual of a dirt communion. The word communion shares an origin with the word community. It means fellowship, reciprocity, and connection. And that's our relationship with dirt. It's foundational. We need dirt to put down roots and to grow and to bloom and to go to seed. Dirt is gritty and muddy and earthy and, well, dirty. We are made of the same elements of dirt. And not only are we made of dirt, we have dirt in our lives. We are a faith that says, bring your imperfection, bring your truest, most authentic self, bring your dirt. It's part of what makes us whole human beings. Dirt supports new life because it is organic matter, nutrients and minerals from the things that have died and broken down in the earth and in our lives. Making dirt is not pretty, just necessary. And we're doing a dirt communion on Easter and Earth Day to help us remember that there is life and death, and that we need both. To help us remember that we are dirt and dirt is us. To help us remember that life is dirt and dirt is life. As we enter into the sacred space of ritual, I invite you to consider the new life that you wish to nurture right now. What does dirt mean to you? What seeds do you wish to plant? How can you follow the guidance of the poet Wendell Berry to practice resurrection?
So we invite you now to our very first dirt communion here. We ask that you bring dirt from a place you consider home. Here's mine. And if you didn't, not to worry, we have lots of extra dirt here that you can use. There's always plenty of dirt. If you are online and you have dirt to share, you can round it up now, and we will send you our virtual blessings to your dirt if you want to hold it up to your camera. So when our dirt is gathered and blessed, we'll invite you to bring some home with you to use in a way that supports and creates life. For those on site, there will be little cups at the very end of the service that you can use to take some dirt home. And for those online or not here today, we're going to leave the pot of dirt outside near the front doors for the next week. So feel free to stop by and get some. Everyone is welcome to this symbol of resurrection. So let's pause for a moment. Take a breath. Consider what dirt means to you. What seeds do you wish to plant? How can you practice resurrection? And now, if you're online, feel free to share your dirt by putting it in front of your camera. And for those on site, we will invite you to come forward, bring your dirt. Anne's going to be our traffic control, so when she sends your row forward, come on down, and we will have the dirt here.
We'll place a few scoops of dirt for those who joined us online today and who will join us online in the days to come. And we'll add one more scoop of dirt for all that is outside of our walls in the interconnected web of life. Our dirt is gathered, the messy, beautiful stuff of life. We will bless this dirt as a symbol of the transformational power of earth with the words of Joy Berry. Will you join me in the refrain, "We bless this dirt, we bless this dirt," in the knowledge that we are all of us imperfect, but come together in communities of grace. We bless this dirt, in the belief that we humans share an origin and a common destiny. We bless this dirt, in a sustaining faith in human redemption and growth. We bless this dirt, in the wisdom of science that tells us dirt is an important part of our own health and happiness. We bless this dirt, in understanding that all living creatures are connected and have a right to healthy soil. We bless this dirt, in hopes that we continue to grow together in mind, body, and spirit. We bless this dirt. Blessed be. Amen.
Let's sing together a closing hymn, hymn number 61, Lo, the Earth Awakes Again. I invite you to rise in body and or spirits.
We extinguish our chalice with the adapted words of Eric Williams. This is his four-element blessing. May the firmness of the earth be yours. May the flow of the water be yours. May the freedom of the air be yours, and the fierceness of the fire be yours. May all the gifts of life, the below and the above, be with you now and remain with you always. May you go with joy, go with commitment, go with love.